Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise or Die podcast with yours truly, Stephen M. Lowisz. This is episode 54, Life is a Sales Game. So, two concepts that I want to share with you today. One of them is not original, or what I should say one of them is something that I've already brought up before. And the one that I've already mentioned is that we need to gamify life. When I started keeping track of how many green smoothies am I having? Meaning, just throw kale and green powder and crap into a blender, and I get a half point for fuel. That's part of the core 4, obviously under body. So then it's how many times am I working out? That's my other half point for body. How many times am I praying and reading the Bible? How many times am I stacking, if you're familiar with Invictus and the Warrior's Way? How many times am I taking my wife on a date? How many little love notes am I writing her? How many times am I actually cracking a book and learning something in my life? How many times am I sharing something worth value to the marketplace? Hence this podcast. This podcast is literally part of my core 4. If it wasn't, I probably wouldn't do it. So when I started to gamify life, everything started to get a little easier. One, I'm a competitive person, not just with others, but with myself. So I'm always looking to kind of, for lack of a better term, mindfuck myself. Basically mess with my head to get the desired results. Mess with my head to say, oh no, you can't get a 24 this week on your core 4. You need to get a 28. Just to do the math, you get 4 points every day. 8 tasks, half a point each. 2 for body, being, balance, and business. The 2 half points, I should say. They all add up to 4 every day, 7 days a week. You can get a max score of 28. So am I going to get a 24 this week, or am I going to get a 28? I'm going to screw with my head until I get a 28. I'm going to gamify everything in my life. Here's something really crazy. I actually keep track, and I'm going to get some comments for this. I actually keep track of how much I have sex. Yeah, I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Because to me, it's not about keeping score. It's more about, okay, how do I gamify if my relationship is in a good spot or not? That's an odd concept, I know. But how do you gamify that? It's impossible. So it's not that sex means you have a good relationship. It doesn't create a good relationship, but it is typically a byproduct of a good relationship. So I keep track. I keep track of literally everything. Now it's ingrained in me. It used to be a huge pain. Now I truly just don't care. But it absolutely used to be a big pain. However, it also has been life-changing. When you gamify everything, you're able to excel. You're able to keep track. You're able to play games with yourself and try to beat your own score. All right, so that's concept number 1, and I'm going to tie these two here together in a second. Number 2 is more related to the title, Life is a Sales Game. So we've already covered the game aspect. Let's talk about sales. I get laughed at sometimes because I talk like a copywriter writes, meaning I talk, we call it strategic seduction in Invictus, and then obviously Wake Up Warrior, which we're affiliated with. We call it strategic seduction. Sounds a lot more, sexy than it is. It's basically converting people's mindsets. It's not manipulation. It's essentially marketing. Marketing and selling, everyone and everything. What people don't realize is that there's a couple things that determine the quality of your life. Number 1, I would say, is your ability to ask questions. Number 2 is your ability to get leverage on yourself, including gamification. Gamification is just getting leverage on yourself. Here's number 3, your ability to sell and seduce. And I'm not just talking about your wife. I'm talking about period. I'm talking about selling people on you. Why should your boss trust you to move up in the company? Why should your boss pay you more? Why should Comcast give you a couple bucks off your cable bill? Why should your wife marry you? That is a sales job. That is absolutely a sales job. Why should you, let's see, why should you get a discount on anything? Why should you get special treatment? Everything comes down to sales. Your ability to close, your ability to communicate effectively drastically changes your life. One of the things that I've noticed is that, especially people my age, right? Like 22 years old, they're deathly afraid of the phone. They're deathly afraid of the phone. They'll hide behind a keyboard all day long, but they can't get the nerve to get their ass on the phone. And it's actually kind of funny. I've had people, multiple, sit around me and basically have a panic attack when I tell them to pick up the damn phone. What they don't realize is that their life is mediocre because they're not willing to sell themselves. They're not willing to sell. They're not willing to sell their wife on the possibility of what they could be. These men are not willing to pick up the phone and call people that could drastically change their lives. These people are not willing to communicate effectively because they're too shy. These people are not communicating, not selling them to their bosses, to their spouses, to their friends, to people that they want to influence. Guess what? You cannot make a difference in life if you can't sell. You cannot make a difference in someone else's life if you cannot sell. Life is a sales game. How do you get what you want in life? You sell. You sell yourself. You sell your cause. You sell what you're all about to others around you. People talk about personal branding. And for those of you that don't know, it's basically marketing yourself. It's basically giving people a story around who you really are, right? Think about Jay-Z, right? You know who he is. He's got a whole marketing team working just for him to brand him. It's essentially corporate marketing for an individual. That's what you need to do. People, if you want to be anything special, you need to be able to sell and market yourself. And then you need to gamify it. Are you getting the results that you want? Are you getting the results that you demand and desire? Are you willing to get on the phone and sell yourself? Are you willing to communicate with others regarding your cause? What are you all about? I'm all about helping people grow. I'm all about helping startups scale. Those are the two businesses that I have. Those are where my two passions lie. Helping startups scale and helping individuals grow. Individuals find themselves. Individuals develop themselves. What are you all about? Is that being communicated to those around you? Because if it's not, guess what? You're just another face, another number. No one gives a shit about you. Sell yourself. Gamify life. Turn everything into a sales game. That's what I have for you for episode 54. As always, share this podcast with someone that you want more for out of their life, someone that needs a little kick in the ass every day just like you get from me. In addition, subscribe at www.riseordiepodcast.com for some exclusive content.